Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Estamos en la unidad 7 y estamos con la preparación para la sesión con nuestros coaches de Lingua Meeting. Como siempre, vamos a trabajar con esta guía para ver las preguntas y para ver posibles respuestas y posible conversación. En la unidad 7 estamos hablando de necesidades, cosas que necesitamos y también ayuda cuando alguien nos pide algo. So in Unit 7, we are working with needs and requests, and we are going to practice with our coach today in using a pattern that's been pretty familiar that you've used in other sessions. So you warm up, you activate vocabulary, step into some mini dialogues, finally role play, and if there's time, there is a cultural topic for your coach to expound on. So our goal in our session in Unit 7 is to communicate needs or requests in a polite and effective way in a clinical or healthcare setting and respond to those requests. Okay, so you're going to see both sides of that. In the warm-up, you are greeting your coach, asking how they're doing. If you have been with the same coach since Unit 1, you're greeting a friend, someone that you recognize. If this is someone that this is your first session because you began in Unit 7, that's great, but you're going to want to get to know the coach a little bit. So you're even going to do name exchange in the warm-up. So, ¿cómo se llama? Right? They're going to ask you, and then you can say y usted to ask their name. They may ask if you're working today. Again, this will depend on the level of familiarity you have with your coach will kind of dictate these warm-up questions. And the coach is so familiar with how to manage the warm-up because they're just greeting you. There's always a few respuestas posibles for you in case you don't have anything handy and can't think of anything on the spot. Remember to print this, take notes on it, have your vocabulary list handy when you go into that session. Okay? So this is where we activate vocabulary. There is a lot of vocabulary in Unit 7. So in this section, your coach is going to prompt you with a situation, and then you are going to choose a response that makes sense to that situation. So there are some prompts for your coach and then possible answers or responses for you. You can use other language that's not in this list, but let's do one together. So the coach may say, they're telling you your current situation, which is, está esperando y necesita ir al baño. So maybe they'll even accompany that with an image so that you, in case that's too much language for you to understand, but you're waiting and you need to go to the bathroom. So which of these would go with that scenario? Right, ¿dónde está el baño? Okay. Or maybe the situation is no se siente cómodo. You're not feeling comfortable. Okay. So they're telling you the situation, and then you pick a response that to express that thought. No estoy cómoda. Necesito una almohada. Okay. So they're telling you the situation you're in. So pick language that would express that would be best in that situation. Okay. So they're telling you that you're thirsty. Tienes sed. Okay. So let's look. Necesito agua. ¿Puede traer agua? So can you bring me water? So let's make sure you understand each of these scenarios. Está cansado y no está cómodo. You're tired and you're not comfortable. Tiene frío. You're cold. Está esperando. We've gone over that one. Está en la sala de examen y necesita sentarse. Okay. So you're in the waiting room, the exam room, and you need to sit down. So you would find a language that would go in that scenario. Tiene sed is you're thirsty. Tiene dolor is you have pain. Okay, this one, está listo or lista para el examen. Listo in this situation means you're ready. So you're ready for the exam. And then we went over this one, no se siente cómodo. Okay, so you'll practice back and forth. Your coach, there's always tips for your coach in case you get stuck. We kind of have tips in there for the coach for how they could navigate that linguistic breakdown. So activating vocabulary, your coach is always welcome to bring additional activities to help you activate the vocabulary from the unit. So part 3 and part 4 are similar. Part 3, the mini diálogos, it's just more structured. So these you're going to read with your coach. And then when you get to role play, it's these scenarios again, but without the dialogue. So it just kind of prompts you to do those things. So let's look. Mini diálogo 1. Okay. Offering help in a waiting room. So let's see. Let's read through this. You are the healthcare professional, and your coach is the patient. So, buenas tardes, ¿cómo está hoy? Bien, gracias. ¿Está cómodo? Un poco. ¿Necesita algo? Sí, necesito agua, por favor. Claro que sí. Un momento, por favor. Gracias. Con gusto. Con gusto is a way to say, like it's my pleasure. Think Chick-fil-A, my pleasure. Instead of you're welcome. Okay? Let's look at this one. A patient makes a request in a room. So the student, you are the nurse or medical assistant, and the coach is the patient in the exam room. Okay? So, hola, ¿cómo se siente? You'll remember that from Unit 6. Hola, ¿cómo se siente? Estoy cansado. ¿Necesita ayuda? Sí, ¿puede traer una cobija, por favor? Sí, con gusto. ¿Algo más? No, gracias. Muy bien. Un momento, por favor. Okay, so practice that. You can slow me down and listen to those again and pause, repeat, so that you can hear yourself saying those out loud. And then we've asked your coach, if time allows, change out the thing that the patient needs and you can have the conversation again. Now I want you to see that part 4, the role play, are the same two scenarios. Offering help. So you are going to be the health professional and you're going to offer help to the patient. Simply greet them, ask if they need anything. The patient or coach may tell you what they need, and you say, claro que sí, or muy bien, un momento por favor. And then part 5, this other role play, is the coach is going to ask for things. Okay, and you're going to respond professionally and with and politely. Okay, so the coach may say, necesito ayuda. ¿Puede traer una cobija? Sí, con gusto. ¿Algo más? Okay, so these are going to be short, part 5, these short role plays, but you can go do this over and over and over again to practice it. And then they're always going to check on how this went for you today. How did the session go? And then finally, we've asked them to talk a little bit about something cultural if there's time. And then always check the objectives. Can I do these things we set out to do? And then go back to the unit in Brightspace and reflect in the assignment and in your notebook how you're doing. Were you able to do these things that we set out to do today? I hope this has been helpful. Go back, listen to those mini dialogues again, slow this down, the recording down, and pause, repeat, grab your vocabulary, and enjoy your session. Adios.